Every morning I wake up and I tell myself this every day. It's a quote. I don't remember who said it, but you didn't come this far to only come this far. I say that to myself every morning, and I remind myself that it reminds me that my journey, making my own history, is not over yet. Hello, my name is Sergeant Major Retired Dan Miller, United States Marine Corps. I currently work for Wounded Warrior Project on our Warriors Speak team. I myself am a 30-year veteran of the Marine Corps, both active and reserve. Well, I love history, and I mean, I've loved history for as long as I can remember growing up, reading about the past. And I firmly believe that, history does repeat itself. And by learning our own individual histories and making our own individual histories, we're leaving something for our future, the people that come when we're gone, to look back and see how we lived our lives, how we functioned every day. So it just catches my imagination. The day I joined the Marine Corps, I want to say that I very quickly did not want to be there. I think that I was very excited, but then reality struck, and it was my first time away from home. And I had a change of heart. I think it was more fear than anything. I thought I'd made a huge mistake, but that passed. The day I retired was very hard for me because even though I know that my brothers, my fellow Marines, my brothers and my sisters will always be there for me, stepping out of uniform for the last time felt odd. I felt like I was failing them by leaving, and I miss the camaraderie. I miss the structure that I had when I was in the Marine Corps. Well, I think I have a huge situational awareness. When you're deployed, you're overseas, you all constantly want to know what's going on around you, who's near you, what are they doing. And, I brought that home with me. Some people might call it hypervigilant, which it can be sometimes, overprotective, but I brought that back, and I think it makes me a better person because I'm very familiar or very aware of what's going on around me at all times. I think the biggest source of comfort that I found was in the men that I served with. It's not about the flag or politics when you get down to it. It's about the man to the left and right of you. The person that you eat with, the person that sleeps next to you, the person that you go into battle with. That is your safety net. That is the person that you get to know inside and out, and you're with them all the time. The person that has my six. Readjusting, coming home, reacclimating myself to a different world than what I had lived in for so many months, and finally understanding, accepting that I didn't have to wake up every morning and wonder if I was going to make it to the next morning, if I was going to live to see another sunrise. I could let that go, and it took a little time for me to do that. A few years back, I passed out standing up, and when I went down, I struck my head on a marble shelf, splitting my head open, and ended up on the floor of the bathroom. And I don't really know how long I was unconscious. They said it was probably about 20 minutes from what they could tell. But the entire time, I was bleeding. And when I did come to, I couldn't move. All I could do was call out my wife at the time. I called her name out. Eventually, she heard me, thank God, and she came in and found me and called an ambulance. And the doctor even said that if it had been any longer, if I had kept losing blood like I was, I would have most likely passed out again and not woken up. So, to have a device, if I'd have had something at that time that I could have, hit a button or said something, to summon some help immediately, it would have obviously, it still would have been a good outcome, but it just would have been an extra safety net that would have made sure that I would have been all right. Well, I firmly believe the technology, the watch itself, having that on their person, something that they'll want to wear, something that they'll enjoy having, not looking at it as a burden or something that doesn't look good, but the basis of having that on their person so that if, God forbid, one of them ever come into a situation where they're alone and they need help, instead of calling out weekly for someone to help them, hoping that someone hears them, they have the technology right at hand to summon the help that they need immediately. If I could gift a device to anyone, I would give it to my friend Nick Bennett. Nick is a Marine, was a Marine like me, and we served together in Iraq. And I know his wounds. I was there. I think he's an incredible person, and he has come a long way. And I think that something like this would just be that extra piece of safety that would make sure that he would always continue to be all right. And that would help me and make me feel good to know that he would continue to be okay all the time. I mean, he has post-traumatic stress disorder. He has to use a cane from his injuries that he received from his wounds. I know that he travels on his own quite often. Having that there, if he were to ever, collapse, I know that, he has a mild traumatic brain injury from getting wounded in Iraq. And so you never know with these things, how your body might react or what might happen. That if he went down, he'd be able to have that hand. It could very well save his life. I'm just thankful to be here. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to do what I do for Wounded Warrior Project. I'm proud to meet incredible people like I've met today at MobileHelp. It's a winning team. I can tell just by walking around and seeing the energy. The people I've met have been so kind. And what you guys and girls do is just amazing. You are lifesavers, and I appreciate you. Thank you.